America, the land of dreams, now drowning in $34.9 trillion of debt. But how does it manage to survive, and for how long? The US federal budget deficit has become a severe issue, ballooning at an exponential rate. This situation isn't new, but has persisted for decades, deeply rooted in America's economic structure, politics, and global position. Despite knowing this path is unsustainable, changing it seems almost impossible. So why has the US fallen into this spiral, and what keeps it from collapsing? The US consistently spends more than it collects, which is the core reason for the budget deficit. Massive welfare programs like Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid consume trillions of dollars yearly. With an aging population, these expenses are not only difficult to cut, but are also expected to increase in the future. Additionally, the US allocates the largest defense budget globally, over $800 billion annually, to maintain its superpower status. Reducing defense spending would not only weaken America's global position, but also erode confidence in its strength. In emergency situations such as the COVID-19 pandemic, the US spent trillions of dollars to rescue the economy. While necessary, these stimulus packages caused the budget deficit to skyrocket, pushing national debt to a record high of $34.9 trillion in 2024. Despite being the world's largest economy, America's tax system is insufficient to cover its spending. Policies favor reducing taxes, especially for corporations and the wealthy, which shrink revenue streams. Many corporations and wealthy individuals exploit legal loopholes to minimize their tax liabilities, further draining government income. Democrats aim to raise taxes on the rich, while Republicans strongly oppose it, creating a stalemate in tax reform efforts. The US continuously issues government bonds to take on new debt, using the proceeds to pay off existing debt. This creates an endless cycle: high spending, budget deficits, more debt issuance, higher interest payments, larger deficits. Rising interest rates have become a significant challenge as the Federal Reserve increases rates to control inflation. The cost of servicing this massive debt also rises, adding further strain to the budget. Despite skyrocketing deficits and national debt, the US has not collapsed due to its temporary armor, the US dollar and global trust. The US dollar is the world's primary reserve currency, used in over 88% of global transactions. This allows the US to print more money without causing severe devaluation, as international demand for dollars remains high. Trust in the US economy, with its unparalleled strength and resilience, also makes investors willing to purchase government bonds, even knowing America relies on debt. This is what sets the US apart from a Ponzi scheme, as its economy is real and substantial. Reform is necessary, but almost impossible, because cutting welfare would trigger massive public backlash. Raising taxes faces strong opposition from corporations and the wealthy. Reducing defense spending would weaken America's superpower position, something the US is unwilling to risk. Additionally, America's deeply divided political system hinders any attempt at fiscal reform. Politicians focus on short-term election cycles rather than implementing long-term, painful solutions. America's budget deficit is growing exponentially like a monster out of control. However, thanks to its economic strength and the US dollar's global dominance, the country still holds a temporary armor to stave off crises. But this armor is not permanent. If deficits remain unchecked or global confidence in the dollar falters, America will face a turbulent future. The question remains, how long can this temporary armor shield the US from the inevitable? Subscribe for more deep dives into the world economy and the forces shaping our future